Well, meanwhile, Donald Trump is gaining traction in some new polls. Take a look at these numbers. At the top of the pack, according to a new CNN poll, up 6 points in this poll since last month. But it's not all good news for Mr. Trump out there when you look at the numbers. 58% of voters who lean Republican say they believe the GOP has a better chance of winning in 2016 if the Republican nominee is not Donald Trump. Joining me now, Katrina Pierson, a Trump supporter and spokesperson for the Tea Party Leadership Fund. Katrina, welcome. Good evening.
Great to be with you, Martha.
So what do you make of those numbers? His favorability is high among GOP voters at 58%, but the same amount say that they don't think he can beat Hillary Clinton or whoever turns out to be the Democratic nominee.
Well, I think that makes complete sense. Most of the GOP voters are trapped in an echo chamber where they're constantly hearing the Beltway pundits talk about how awful Trump would be for the country and how bad he's going to lose and how he's hurting with women. And he's also catching it from some of the conservative side of their supporters saying he's not conservative enough. So, of course, they're a little bit on edge about where Donald Trump would stand in a general election. And I'd like to note that this particular poll did not include the Democrat responses. But if you look at the national average, look at Real Clear if you want to, whereas Donald Trump was trailing Hillary Clinton sometimes by 30 points 2 months ago, today he's within 5 points in a general election. And that shows real movement and the kind of movement we haven't seen in presidential politics in a very long time.
Well, we'll see. The most recent Fox poll showed that Bush could beat Hillary Clinton by just a couple of points. It was pretty close to the margin of error. Rubio also in that category as somebody who could beat Hillary Clinton. And Republicans, that has to be their top priority. They want to win. They want to put someone forward who can win. And when you take a look at the regional contest, when you look at the caucuses in Iowa, about 6 months away, a little less than that at this point, you look at South Carolina, you look at New Hampshire, there are a lot of questions about whether or not Mr. Trump is going to be the retail politician that is needed in those states. Is he looking forward to getting on the ground and being there day in and day out and spending time talking to people?
Well, I think Mr. Trump is showing along the way that he is committed to this race. And I think a lot of the skepticism also comes from the fact that a lot of people still don't know if he's in it to win it. But I think now that he has his first policy out there and he's been hitting the pavement hard and flying around in his helicopter and keeping his promises, I think more and more people are gravitating toward Mr. Trump. In the CNN poll you mentioned, he's blowing everybody away on all of the policy questions on who do you trust to handle these issues. He is winning that by a high margin. And I'll remind you, just a few weeks ago, everyone was freaking out that he's hurting with women. In that CNN poll, Martha, he was women's not only their first choice, but also their second choice. So see, these polls are a little skeptical depending on who you're asking and who's putting them out, and that's why we launched TeaPartyPrimary.org. We want to see where the base stands. Where are the people who are going to get out and vote? Where do they stand? So we're going to find that out at TeaParty.org, TeaPartyPrimary.org. But this CNN poll was clear to me that we're just looking at the negative, the one negative in that poll, which is 58% of the people are unsure that he could win in the general, when the numbers all over the place are showing that he just might actually pull this off.
We will see. Katrina Pierson, thank you very much. Good to have you tonight.
Great to be with you.
You bet.